the Assistant Director of Enrollment for the College of Science and Technology. So the way that Temple works, and I want to try to be as interactive as I guess, like I just want to pretend that we're like sitting in a room together where you would just be able to answer me, but the chat might be easiest. But have any of you visited Temple before, gone on an admissions tour, gotten any general information about Temple? Not really. Okay. So the way that Temple is set up, so we're a rather large school. So I'm not sure the sizes of your high school, but Temple has about 30,000 undergraduate students. So that sounds like a really big number. So it definitely is a larger school, but when you come onto campus, I'm sure these students could tell you, like you can get to one end to another in just 10 minutes. So even though we have a lot of students, it's still a smaller campus. It doesn't feel like it's going to like swallow you whole. But in order for you to get kind of like a smaller feel within a big college, we have Temple University, and then we have different schools and colleges, which are basically just breakdowns of the majors that you're in. So the College of Science and Technology, which I represent, that has majors in 6 different departments, which are biology, chemistry, earth and environmental science, computer and information science, math, and physics. So think science and technology. But we have tons of other schools and colleges within Temple too. So we have the College of Engineering, which some of you are interested in. We have the College of Public Health. We have Fox School of Business. We have the College of Education. So these are all just grouping of majors. We have almost 160 different majors at Temple. So what my job is that I work with students like you who are in the process of learning more about Temple, deciding if you're going to apply. I teach you about our majors, programs, resources. I can connect you with faculty and current students. But then similarly, like you said, if you're interested in the College of Engineering, there's a person like me in their department that could help you as well. Now, one of the great things about Temple is that when you apply, you do select your major on your application, but you're accepted to Temple as a whole. The only exceptions to that rule would be the nursing program and some of our like more like art programs that require portfolio. But other than that, say you apply as a biology major, you're accepted, and then during your senior year, you have an epiphany and you're like, no, you know what, I want to go into engineering or I want to go into business. That's completely fine. Changing your major is as simple as filling out a form. So you don't have to feel locked into your major. Whereas just pay attention if you're applying to other schools, some of them have kind of a requirement that you're either accepted or you're not for that major and you can't switch. But Temple, no problem. You could even apply as undecided and that would be fine as well. So as I said, my focus is on the College of Science and Technology. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our programs, but rest assured that a lot of these things ring true for many of the other schools and colleges within Temple as well. Feel free at any time to enter a question into the chat or just raise your hand and I'd be happy to hear, because if this is information that you guys, it's not important to you, then I don't want to waste your time. I want to make sure that you're getting the best information. So I'm just going to get my PowerPoint. And I apologize, I have 2 screens. So if I'm looking this way, it's just because that's where my PowerPoint is. Okay, so within CST, you guys can see the PowerPoint, right? Sorry, I'm being like all your teachers, like, am I sharing my screen?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, cool. So the College of Science and Technology. So I know that some of you said that you're interested in medicine, engineering, if you're interested in like computer science, anything like that. These are kind of the advantages of Temple that I talk to students about. And these are some things that should be important to you when you're looking at colleges that might be interesting to you. So the first thing that I mentioned is that we are a large school, but we give you the feel of a smaller school. The advantages of going to a large Division I school like Temple are that you're going to meet so many different people, all different backgrounds, diversity, all different walks of life. And that's a really great environment to learn in, because everyone's bringing their own experiences and they can teach you about different things that you, or have a different perspective that you might have never considered. Additionally, this means that we have a huge alumni network. So alumni are people who have already graduated from Temple. They say that 1 in 10 people living in Philadelphia are Temple alum. And that's really helpful when you're looking for jobs after graduation, because a lot of times you probably hear like it's who you know, because you need to network to be able to get your foot in the door, have someone vouch for you. So the fact that we have a huge alumni network can be really beneficial to you. But you also get that small feel with our school college structure because you get specific resources based on the school or college that you're in, that we'll talk about today. The second advantage of Temple is our location. So you're all from local area, so you're familiar with Philadelphia. I love Philly because I feel like it is, it's a large city, but you don't get lost in it. There's so many different neighborhoods, especially for students like you who are interested in the science and tech fields. Having the, 8-minute subway ride into the city is a huge advantage when it comes to doing volunteer experiences, research, or internship. You can just hop on the subway and get into the city. Additionally, for those of you interested in medicine, we have our own health sciences campus. So that is where the Temple Hospital is located, the Temple Medical School, Pharmacy School, Dental School. So during your time as an undergraduate student, you can actually go to that campus and do volunteering at the hospital, or you could do research at the medical school. All of these things are giving you that experience that employers or graduate schools are going to be looking for when you're ready to take that next step. And there is a shuttle that takes you back and forth from both campuses too, so we can provide transportation. And then lastly, and perhaps the most important thing about studying science and technology and any of your other majors at Temple is that we are a research institution. So I'm not sure that when you're in high school, they kind of stress the importance of research, but if you're interested in going into these fields, these are kind of like the equivalent of having an internship for a business student. These are ways that you can get that hands-on experience alongside a professional. And these are things that are going to make you stand out when you take the next step. It's also a great way to take what you're learning in the classroom and put it into practice. So research is really just problem solving at its finest. So think of the scientific method when you have a hypothesis or you make a prediction, and then you follow the steps to see whether that's true or not and try to make advances. So being a Research One institution means that we're doing the highest level of research activity among college campuses. So most of your professors or your teachers in the classroom, they also are conducting research. So they're not just teaching from the textbook, they can bring in real examples, which can be really helpful. So the majors that we offer within the College of Science and Technology are spread across 6 different departments. So we have about 30 different majors. I've listed on here kind of the more popular ones or the larger ones. So if you continue to think of Temple as a funnel, so you have Temple University that you're a part of, then you're a part of the College of Science and Technology, which is much smaller. It's about 3,000 students. And then you go into your department, which is another way to that makes you a little bit more unique and gives you more resources. So these are the main majors that we offer. So for those of you who are interested in going into medicine, you'd probably be more focused on this side of the slide. Biology is by far our most popular major. Biology is just a really broad major, the study of living organisms. So whether you want to work with people or if you want to work with animals or plants, biology is great because it's broad enough that you can try all different things. Our newest majors are ecology, evolution, and biodiversity. So that's focused on looking at kind of what it sounds like, so the evolution of animals and plants and the earth, and looking at biology from that point of view. Genomic medicine is a really cool field that is especially prevalent right now. It's right at the intersection of disease, genomics, DNA, and evolution. So figuring out how we can use human genes and DNA to make personalized health plans for patients, or to use informatics, which is computers, to solve health problems or make predictions. So that's a really prevalent field. We also have data science, which is a new major. So the best way I can describe data science would be if you guys use like Spotify, you know how they make those personalized playlists for you, and you're like, how do they know that I would love this song? Basically, a data scientist is looking at all of the consumers that are like you, around your age, seem to have like listened to the similar things for you, and then they can take that data and make a playlist for you. Same thing as if you're shopping online and you're like, oh my God, like, how did they know that I just looked at those jeans and now they're targeting me on Instagram? A data scientist probably pulled that together. So that's a really cool new field that's up and coming. Now, one thing that I did want to let you know, if you're interested in medicine, is that to go to medical school, you don't have to be any specific major. You could truly be any major that you want. You are just going to declare a pre-med track, and you have to complete all the prerequisites needed for medical school, which are foundational courses such as biology, chemistry, calculus, and then higher levels. So I do want to point that out, but a lot of medical students do choose like biology, biochem, or chem. Something that I want to point out, and I think that this is true for a lot of the schools and colleges within Temple, is that within the first couple semesters or a year, you are going to be taking this very similar coursework to your peers. So you all, on this side of the slide, the biochem, or you all have to take biology, chemistry, calculus. And then on this side of the slide, you all have to take like foundational coding courses, math, and physics. So I think that that is really helpful if you don't know especially what you want to do or exactly what you want to do. You don't have to feel a rush in declaring your major. You're not going to be behind because many of you are going to have to take the same types of classes. We also do have some accelerated pathways, and these are some things that you can look into regardless of what school you're looking at. So a lot of these programs allow you to achieve your goals kind of in a accelerated way. So if you're interested in medical school or dental school, pharmacy, any of these programs, you can apply for an accelerated program that allows you to do your bachelor's degree in 3 years and then go on to your professional school in your 4th year, where usually your bachelor's degree would take you 4 years. Similarly, these programs, they allow you to earn your bachelor's and your master's degree in 5 years instead of 6. So these programs are great because a lot of times in the science field, master's degrees will allow you to be more hands-on in research. They increase the type of jobs that you can apply to and your pay. So these programs allow you to get a head start on those. So again, for those students interested in medicine, something that I want to point out about Temple, which is a great resource to you, is that we have a full advising office on campus that is dedicated to our students who are on a pre-health track, so pre-med, pre-dental, pre-pharmacy. This is an office that you'll meet with at least once a semester, and they'll make sure that you're taking all the prerequisites that you need for those programs. They help you with your application, they help you with interview prep, so that way you know that you're on track when it comes time to apply. So going back to research, I just wanted to provide some examples of the programs that we have and the types of research that you could do. So research can be like an extracurricular for you, something that you do after school, but it could also be something that you do as a job. It could be something that you take as a class. There are many ways to fit it into your schedule, and it's something that we really recommend for our students. So these are just some of the research opportunities that we have that would be kind of like an application process for you to do. So our first one is the undergraduate research program. This program allows you to apply to work under a faculty member during either the school year as one of your classes or over the summer as a paid experience. So this program is really great because you get paired with a faculty mentor that's already doing research and you can work alongside of them. We have a full list of opportunities you can choose from. You read through it, see what's interesting to you, and then reach out to that professor. Some of these other programs are cool. The Francis Fillet Fellowship, that's specifically for women in STEM. So this one, you can create your own research project and you're given a stipend or an amount of money to be able to work on that project. And then you present your findings at a conference. And you can see there's a bunch of other ones on here as well. And then these are just some of the centers and institutes for research. So just to give you a couple examples of the types of research that they're doing. So one of our most popular ones is that we have a zebrafish lab run by our genetics professor. So not sure if any of you are familiar with zebrafish, but zebrafish are what we call a model organism. So they share about 70% of the same genes that we as humans do, which is crazy to think that we're that closely related to a fish. But think any body part they have, eyes, mouth, heart, we can look at it at a cellular level. We can look at their genes and manipulate them and see, say there's a gene that is also related to human disease. We can manipulate that within the zebrafish to see if we can make any advances. So that's one type of research. There's a lot of people that do research at the hospital or the medical school. Like I know someone who's done research. He was interested in pharmacy and he worked with transplant patients, giving them medication to make sure that they didn't get infections. On the technology side, they have students who are doing research on like self-driving vehicles or artificial intelligence or making applications. So anything that you're interested in, I'm sure that we have a research project that relates to it. And if not, you can make your own. So I talked a little bit before about the resources that we offer within your school or college. And this is true regardless of the schools or college, whatever school or college you're in. So if you're in the College of Engineering, but we have advisors, academic advisors. You can think of these as like a school counselor that you meet with each semester to help you pick your classes, make sure that you're staying on track for graduation. And you could go to them with any difficulties that you could be having, and they can link you to tutoring resources. They can help facilitate a meeting with a professor. They're really just someone that you can always talk to, is always going to be there. We also have a first year seminar within your first semester. So this is really just about bridging the gap between high school and college. So we teach you some study skills for college classes. It's a way to just make friends within your first semester. We help you with time management, all that kind of stuff. And then lastly, we have our own center for professional development. So professional development is all focused on what your steps are going to be after graduation. So helping you find a job, helping you find internships, working on your resume, interview prep. They do all of that for you. It's a one-stop shop. So this is a great place to go, and even if you're not sure what you want to do, they can help you with assessments and figuring out what you want to do. They can connect you with people and jobs that you might find interesting. So they're a really great resource that we have. So excitingly, hopefully we'll be able to study abroad again soon. I'm wondering if any of you are interested in studying abroad, but Temple has 2 campuses that are in Rome and Japan. So they're full Temple campuses. The tuition's exactly the same. The courses are Temple courses, and you can go and study abroad there for a semester or just over your summer or winter break. It's a great way to get experience, to travel, see the world, and earn college credits. We also have partnerships with other institutions if you don't want to go to Rome or Japan. But again, this is a great way that you can travel during college, and it's exactly the same price as if you were just in Philadelphia. Okay, so this holds true for all schools and colleges within Temple. So let's talk about applying. So when you're looking to apply to Temple, we use the Common Application. So the Common Application, if you're not familiar, it's an application that hundreds of different schools around the country use, and it's a way that you can fill out one application and send it off to many schools. So we use that at Temple, which is great. So you're going to fill out your personal information, and then there'll be a separate page just for Temple. You're also going to have to self-report your high school transcript. So self-report is a tool that we use. Basically, you take your transcript and you enter your grades in there. It makes it quicker than having to wait for us to receive your transcript, but you will have to send it in the end. When we're looking at your grades, we're actually looking at grades 9 through 11, which is why you can apply now. If, for some reason we're unsure about you or you don't quite make the GPA requirement, we will look at your first semester senior year grades as well to make our decision. Temple is also a test optional school. So that means you don't have to submit your SAT or ACT scores if you don't feel that they accurately represent you as a student. We're more than welcome, or you're more than welcome to submit them and we will look at them, but it is not a requirement. So when you're looking to apply to schools, it's important to know their deadlines and then also what they're called. So when you're applying to schools, you could see deadlines called early decision, early action, and regular decision. Early decision is a binding application. We don't offer this at Temple, but some other schools you're applying to might. With early decision, that means that you're applying to this school, and if you're accepted, you're committed to going there. Early action, on the other hand, is non-binding. So what that means is if you apply, you're accepted, you are not committed to going there. But early action allows you to receive your decision sooner. So I would really recommend that you apply early action to schools that offer it, because it allows you to have the control. If you get all of your materials in, right in the beginning of the year, so our early action deadline is November 1st, some schools it's October 1st, you will get your decision usually around winter break. So that way you have the whole spring to visit your colleges, get your financial aid together before you make your decision. And then lastly, our regular decision deadline is February 1st. So that's the final deadline to apply to have all your materials in. And then deposit deadline. So when you're deciding to pick your school, you just have to let that school know by May 1st. And the deposit is how you hold your spot. It's usually an amount of money that goes towards your tuition, but it holds your spot and tells us that you're coming. So that's kind of the bulk of what I wanted to share with you. I'd love to know if you guys have any questions, either about what I covered or about the college application process in general, anything. I'm really happy to help you.
Are you guys offering campus tours? Are you guys offering campus tours?
Yes, we are offering campus tours right now. So Temple, the admissions office offers like full campus tours where you can see everything. And then if you'd like, you can also sign